is like on my farm. I'm sorry, I'm not able to show that picture. But on my farm, I have an arch on which I have put this golden shower or Bignonia venesta. So during the whole year, it remains green, but in February, it becomes leafless, and very beautifully, all the flowers become. It becomes a big arch of just orange colored flowers. So then you can have them on pergolas, or you have some pillars. You want to hide pillars on terrace gardens sometimes. So when you want to hide your pillars, then you can attach your these climbers onto them via strings, via wires, via hooks, or something, and they can cover up your pillar and create a mass of color for you. So this can be very beautiful. Achha, very often in farms, etc., we have palms. Palms like the bottle palm, for instance. उसका नीचे का तना जो है वो आपको खाली खाली कभी कभी दिखता है एंड देन ऊपर उसके ब्रांचेस होते हैं. इफ यू वांट टू ऐड, though I think bottle palm ka tana itself is very beautiful, but if it is in a place where it is looks very empty, you can make something climb on that tana also and build a very nice colorful area for yourself. I like on my farm, what happened was we had to change the electricity connections, one coming from one village and the other coming from another village. So the khambas which was installed by the other village, they were not used. Instead, the other village planted their own khambas. So now I have 3, 4 khambas which are useless, and they are in the middle of my garden. So I have made a conimorpha creeper climb on top of it because it has very hardy wood-like branches, and it has big leaves, and it has cascading flowers. So if I have tried to cover that kind of khamba and in fact created a what should I say, like a highlight or a focal point in my garden. Okay, so you can also grow creepers in pots, and all the some of the light creepers that you can grow. Uh, According, they are some of them have very light structures. Those can be grown. You have annual creepers like Sweet Pea, then Morning Glory, then Black Eyed Susan, which is a Thunbergia alata. These are all annual climbers and they can grow from seeds. So every year you plant the seeds and then you can make them grow in pots. Even your this new variety of what is Madhumalti that we have, Quisqualis, that also is a very nice one. It does grow in the pot. Only you have to create a structure, maybe a nice big bamboo structure, and tie it up onto that, and it becomes very, very pretty. It looks very pretty. Now you also have foliage climbers. There are many like syngoniums. They can also be put in on pots in your pot and made them to trail upwards. All the syngonium, all are lovely syngonium pots that you have. Those are all foliage. Monstera, that is also a climber. If you allow it to attach itself to a tree, then it climbs up right to the top, and because it feeds from the tree also, takes out very big, big leaves. So it can look very dramatic in a garden. Then you have philodendrons, a kind of philodendrons also, which look very nice on top of moss sticks in your pots. There is one which is asparagus. Now, asparagus has many varieties. What is the one which grows in pots, which we use in flower arrangements, etc.? That asparagus is splendens. Then you have an asparagus which is known as Mairi. Mairi also And then you have plumosus. Myri also just grows in a pot, and it's a normal shrub kind of a thing, a small shrub. But you have you have plumosus. Plumosis can be trilled and can be made to grow on the side of a wall or on a pillar, and that has very pretty, very delicate leaves. There is another asparagus which also, when it dries up, gets beautiful flowers. So there are lots of asparaguses that can also be treated as green foliage climbers. These foliage climbers are basically for shady area. So you can treat them like house plants and grow them in the shady part of your garden. There are many which grow in semi-shade area. See, what I'm telling you, some of these ones, because they are less. Most of your vines, most of your creepers actually require, especially the flowering ones, all require a sunny area. So, therefore, we'll talk about them as we come to it. But those which are grown uh, in shady, partial shady area are like your Aristolochia. I'll be showing you pictures of them. Aristolochia is called the बतख बेल. उसका जो फूल आता है वो उसका पीछे की साइड अगर आप टर्न करोगे तो वो बिल्कुल बतख की तरह लगता है. So बतख बेल can grow in semi shade. Bomontia, which has big white flowers, can also go in partial shade. I have grown Chlorodendron splendens. ये क्रिसमस के टाइम पे लाल रंग के गुच्छेदार फूल होते हैं. From Christmas onwards, right up to February, it can fill up your garden. It is a beautiful red colored creeper. This can also grow in semi-shade area. Because many of us have this problem. That's why I'm naming some of those which can grow in semi-shade area. Then Hoya. Hoya, it grows only in semi-shade area. Hoya likes only the morning sun, and it's a very delicate creeper, grows in pots, and can be put on the side of your on the northern side of your garden, where you'll probably just about get the morning, little bit of the morning sun. Then you have the Madhumalti that also can grow in semi-shade area. I think I've said that already. Then some of your uh, jasmine के जैसे पीली चमेली या पीली चमेली still requires some amount of sun, but star jasmine can grow in partial sun. Okay. Now there is a lot of difference in the amount of growth which different climbers can make. So you have heavy and you have light. Both you have that kind of climbers. So there is like again heavy ones are the ones which can cover where the foliage are big and they can cover lot of area, but they could also some of them are slow in growth, like for instance Antigonon, which is also known as the Sandwich Island creeper. I will show all these pictures to you. Then you have Wisteria. Wisteria also is quite, it can grow under very favorable conditions, and it can fill up your area that you want to camouflage. It's very beautiful because it grows extensively, and when it is in bloom, it's a sight to watch. Jacomantia has small blue flowers. The leaves are very small. So it's a very light creeper. This again, it's slow growing in the beginning. Then once it covers up, it can cover up a very large area and create a very nice screen also. Then you have Stephanotis. Stephanotis is also known as the wedding bouquet vine because the flowers that grow, they grow in guchas from one node to the next node, and finally there's a long tendril which flows down. So this is normally used in wedding bouquets. You see in the Christian weddings, there is one flower that trails down. So that is known as Stephanotis. Stephanotis grows in semi-shade area, and it is not a very heavy creeper. It's again a lightish creeper, and it can grow in pots very, very well. Then you have Clitoria. Clitoria is part, it's again a seasonal. Clitoria also is a light creeper. Then your, what do you call it, morning glory. That is also a, again a creeper which is a light creeper. So your heavy ones are the ones which we will come to, like this. One minute. Like your Beaumontia, Coney Marfa, then your Bougainvillas, these all become quite heavy. So they will need lot of support and they need to be tied. Of course, Bougainvillea still grows very well without being tied down too much. Then you have uh, Petria volubilis, which comes in two colors. Petria volubilis is again a very, very beautiful, nice light creeper if you keep pruning it properly. Then you will find that it grows not very high. So for instance, if you want for screening, now you want screening your wall from the main road, then you have the Vernonia. Vernonia is a green, absolute green creeper. It gives flowers. It gets small, very small white flowers in February, March. But it's a curtain creeper. It's also known as curtain creeper. So Vernonia fills up the area very, very fast. It's a very good screen area. Then you have Thunbergia laurifolia. Then you have Thunbergia mysorensis. Mysorensis is also known as the Sahara bale. Now, mysorensis is difficult. In Delhi, it's difficult because it requires a lot more humidity. So it's better in a shady area rather than a very, too sunny an area and too dry an area. Then for screening, again, your Bignonia vinista is also a very good creeper which can screen off all the ugly portions. Again, all of these have to be trained and pruned properly. Then if you want for low walls or for trellises, there is another seasonal creeper called Gloriosa. Gloriosa superba is a summer creeper. You plant the tuber in April, and right now it's growing and it's growing up very nice and tall. You can grow it in pots and it has an absolute exotic flower. Then you have clematis. Clematis, the clematis I'm talking about, not about the European clematis, which has a big flower. There are people growing that big flower one in India also, but it needs special tending. What we call there's clematis. It is a one with very small guchedar phool. The whole creeper turns almost white. It's very, very nice one. Then for low walls and for trellises, you have campsis. Campsis is the one with huge big orange flowers. बड़ा जंगली क्रीपर लगता था पहले हमको, अब बहुत वैल्यूबल हो गया है. So Campsis has big orange flowers, and there are a lot of cheenties that grow or come along with it. That is for a low wall. I forgot to mention one creeper called Clerodendron Thompsoni. I will show you pictures. It's also known as bleeding heart. That grows in pots and grows very well in pots. That can also be used for a low wall because it does not grow too high. Then Stephanotis also can be used for a low wall. It grows very well horizontally. Therefore, we take the main stem vertically and then we allow it to go horizontally. So there are many such climbers for all kinds of purposes. You must know what you are wanting to do with your creeper. So depending on that, you can choose the creepers that you want. Now, most of these the failures that we have in growing creepers, it can be traced back to the neglect in preparation of the pit or of the pot, or it could be because of the watering, and it can also be because of feeding. And last of all, what is very important is the proper training of the initial stages of growth. If you take care of all these four items, that is preparation of the pot or pit, watering of a creeper, feeding of the creeper, and also proper training, then you will find that once the creeper is established, then you will see that you don't have much to do later except for taking out all the dry branches and taking out whatever is unnecessary or is going out of shape. Those you can, of course, you need to then remove those. Now, now I just tell you in a short form how to dig a pit for a climber. For the
अच्छा
heavy
चलाना सावित्री.
climbers, for heavy climbers which have big leaves and which have very vigorous growth, you need to make a pit which is at least 3 feet by 3 feet depth. So it should make a round pit where the it's round on top and the diameter is 3 feet and the depth is again 3 feet. Now, whenever you're digging a pit, this is something I like to mention to everybody is that when you remove the topsoil of about 1 foot, please don't throw that or mix it with the rest of the soil. Take that 1 foot soil and keep it apart. Let's call this A. Then take from first feet to the second foot that soil, put it aside, call it B. Then the last 1 foot soil, you take it out and put it away and call it C. Now you treat the pit. You have to first and foremost treat it with anti-termite treatment. Do the whole pit, all the sides of the wall and the base of the pit, and treat it with any nice whatever you want to do, organic, or at this moment when I'm preparing a pit, then sometimes I like to even go with a chemical anti-termite because termites are quite severe in certain areas. Now, after you've treated it to termite, leave it open for a week. Let it be nicely solarized. Once it has been solarized for about a week on strong sunlight, then after that you prepare the base. You lay 2 inches of sand, balurik, Jamna sand, and lay it flat on that. Put some dry leaves on top of it, leaves that do not decompose very fast, like Ashoka ke leaves, yeah, neem, not neem, this eucalyptus ke leaves, some or bamboo leaves, they do not decompose very fast. It's good to put a layer of such leaves on top of it. Now you take C, because we have to put back the same depth, that same very soil that came from that depth back into this pit at the same level. Because the one at 3 feet that soil is has lot of drainage material, and we need to put it where it is required. That is, we need to put it at the drainage portion where we need water, rain water, whatever water, to drain off. We don't want water to be standing there. So we take C, mound C, and we mix it with 5 kgs of compost, vegetable compost, or cow dung manure, well rotted cow dung manure. Because nowadays we are having a lot of problem not with cow dung manure, getting cow dung manure. Therefore, what we can use is we can use compost also, and mix it thoroughly. Put some neem khali also, and put some little bit of tuna. Tuna can just be about 10 grams to 15 grams. And mix it nicely into this soil and put it back into the base of this pit. Now take B and add again 5 kgs of cow dung manure or compost plus neem khali, and mix it thoroughly and put it back into the second layer. Now take the top soil and add 5 kgs of cow dung or compost, vermicompost, and you can add little bit of leaf mold, and add all these because we need microbial activity in this top 10 inches to 1 foot. This is where the maximum microbial activity takes place. If you push it down into the base, then these microbes will not get enough sustenance. They require humus to live. So this they won't get sustenance and they'll probably perish. So therefore, we keep the top 10 inches full of this feed like vermicompost, like leaf mold, some dried leaves. All these add to the feeding to be given at this level. So mix it very nicely with this topsoil and push it back into the pit. Now what has happened is your pit, because all the level of all this material that you put will naturally be little higher than the pit when you dug it out. So now you put about, say, about 60 grams of bone meal. If you don't want to use bone meal, there are a lot of people who object to using bone meal, then get some rock phosphate. Rock phosphate is also very good and it's organic, and make a powder of it and say about 60 grams you sprinkle on top. I like to keep bone meal as a top dressing because bone meal has to filter downwards to the root level, and it does that over about a month's time to about 2 months' time. That is the time when the roots are also developing and they need a lot of sustenance at that time. So put bone meal as a top dressing. Now water this pit thoroughly. All this preparation, when is it going to be done? This we come now to the season of planting. Most of our planting season in Delhi is either in the month of March, when spring arrives and spring has already sort of settled in, and now the temperature is also gradually rising up. The ground temperature has also heated up a little. So March is a very good time where you can plant. And the other very, very good time is your pre-monsoons. When you know monsoons have hit Kerala and now they are advancing upwards, then you will feel the moisture in the air. Once you start feeling the moisture in the air, that's also a good time where you can plant things. Because you know monsoon is round the corner, there's humidity in the air, and soon enough, as soon as monsoon comes, the roots start galloping and your plant gets settled. So if we are doing it in the month of March, then we should prepare all this by the end of February or beginning of March. So it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the preparation, because after you have watered this pit also, I like to leave the pit undisturbed for about another week. So if you look at all that, it's always nice to do it by the beginning of March or by the end of February also. You'll find it's a good time. So this is a good time. Now you bring your material, whatever you do. Second time is by the end of June. End of June, though sometimes July passes off as a dry month in Delhi, still there is moisture in the air. And if you control the watering, then it's a safe time to plant. There is no problem in this. So at that time, now you go to the nurseries or wherever, bring it with its root ball intact, and now bring the seedling or the small plant that you get, bring it, and now dig a U-shaped hole. U-shaped, not a V-shaped, so that this ball can sit on the base of this hole that you make. Now at the base of this U-shaped hole, you please put a little bit of sand again, so that the roots are not in standing in water. Put a little bit of sand and now place your root ball into it. Root ball, the stem should be above the base level of the soil as it is in the plant. When you bring it from the nursery, there is a point at which the stem goes above the soil level. So now this point which is above the soil level should remain above the soil level even in your pit. Don't dig it deeper. It's better to keep it above so that that stem which is exposed to the sun, which had already got used to being exposed to the sun, had developed a bark. Now what is the bark? Bark is dead material, but which is protecting the live material inside. But if you dig it into the soil, then this dead material starts rotting and it falls off because the water is there, it gets wet and it starts falling off. So your live portion is exposed to the soil, and when it is exposed to the soil, then root rot, stem rot can develop over there. So better to keep it at the same level at which it is in this root ball. Now place the root ball and then fill up the empty area with all this topsoil only, and nicely cover it and stamp it. When we were preparing the bit, that time we did not stamp on it too much because we require a little bit of air for all those microbes also to survive. Later, when we have watered it, then anyway the air is escaped out and water takes up the place and this soil settles in. So you don't need to stamp on it too much. But now when you fill it up with soil, you must stamp it because in this cavity that you have created, there should be not too much of air spaces. It should be filled with soil so that when the roots develop, then they do not hit a air gap. It should meet the soil and it should meet moisture. So this is the way we have to prepare our pit and plant it from the beginning. If we do this, then our plants will always do well. So this base effort that you have to make, that should not be neglected. Now when you're doing it in a pot, then you know how we have to fill the pot. I've taught you this many times. First of all, if you are doing a heavy creeper, if it's a heavy creeper and you want to grow it, then now you have to think of the pot size. According to that pot size, only will your creeper survive. Later, you cannot go on, repotting your creepers so much because they have attached themselves to the support system and everything. You have to try and keep it in the same pot, or then afterwards you have to break the previous pot and then try to fit in all the roots into a new pot. So heavy creepers already start with a little bigger pot. Okay. Now, when you are filling the pot, please remember that at least almost about 1/4 of the pot height should be covered with thick grease and with drainage material. Now it's up to you what you want to make with what you want to do with the drainage material. You can put broken bricks. You can put broken gamlon ke tikris. You can do when you do gamlon ke tikris and you have broken your gamlas or broken hai aapke paas, then just sort them out. Put the small ones aside, medium ones aside, and the large ones. Large ones will go at the base and always with the hollow side in inwards, not like this. Okay, down. So on the convex side like this. So all the large ones will fill the base. On top of that, to fill the gaps will be the medium ones. Then right on top, again to fill up any small gaps will be a smaller decrease. This way you will have a nice thick layer of drainage material. Always another thing you remember with your pots is raise them up. The base should not touch your terrace unless there's soil under it. If you're doing it somewhere where there is soil under it, then it's still better. But if it's a hard concrete slab, then you must raise these big pots on top, and so that their hole is not touching the floor of your terrace. When the hole touches the floor, slowly over time, soil starts compacting and falling and covering this hole. Now water will not drain out because it's blocked by this soil, and because there is nothing there to stop it from falling. So again you will have water problems in your pot. So raise or buy pots which have little legs. Then this hole is never touching the base of your uh, terrace. This is the way to fill your pots. Now for your lighter ones like rose or your ipomias, you can use 12-inch pots also, or you can use 14-inch pots, and you can fill them up in the same manner. And please be careful how you fill it up, and then you can start planting in the same manner that I have told you. Now, pots also should be prepared at least 2 weeks before you start planting so that the soil in it gets matured and all the obnoxious gases which develop because of all the compost or with the cow dung manure, all those gases all escape out and do not affect the roots of the root ball. So therefore, you must prepare it, water it, and leave it for 2 weeks. Let it solarize, let it be, you let the sun work on it. Also, then all your microbial activity also is going under the soil level. All this is happening. So then you can plant your whenever you want to plant it, then you plant it. Now we come to watering. So initially, when the plant has not started developing, when you do not see these new growths coming out, till then be cautious about your watering. Water less, because let the roots develop. They are not active, so they cannot absorb this water as yet. So just leave it, let them first develop, and that you will know by this new development. The vine will start growing and you will see new growths in it. That is the time when you can start watering regularly. But you must always use the finger test for all your plants to see that there is no excess water. Within 30 to 50 seconds, the water should drain out from your pot. No standing water. But yes, when you are filling your pot, then always leave a little bit, say about half an inch, empty so that the sides of the pot will hold this water. Otherwise, if you fill it right to the top, then very often the water just skips over the soil and falls down and doesn't go into the pot. So, therefore, leave about half an inch empty. And also for our top dressing. Very often we will do top dressing since we will not be able to do very much of digging around it. We, for pots, we have to do, pot we have to do uh, pot topping. So we need space for that. So always remember to leave half an inch for it. Now let's come to the training of vines. Now, it depends on what you are wanting to do. If you are wanting to train it over arches and pergolas, then if you're if you're doing it over an arch, then you will do it only, you'll only plant it on one side of the arch, and on that side of the arch again you will prepare the pit the way you like to do it, like the way I have taught you rather. So once you've planted it, then you take two leaders. You will see there will be there will be leaders going up. So उसके साथ साथ एक और भी निकलते हैं, और भी निकलते हैं, छोटे छोटे और भी निकलते हैं. But don't take all of them. Just take two main thick ones, remove the others, and let these two be trained up to 12 to 14 inches along the your arch or your pergola. Now, if your pergola is big, then you might need to plant more than one plant. See, heavy creepers should be planted at the distance of 3 meters. If you have a large area to cover, then 3 meters के distance पे आप उसको grow करिए. That way you can easily cover up the whole. If it's a large wall, you will be able to. If it's a light creeper, then you can plant them even 3 feet की दूरी पे next to each other. The other one is 3 meters. The heavy one can be planted from 2 to 3 meters and then trained to come and meet these two halfway. That I'll explain to you in a little while. But the distance for heavy creepers is 3 meters and for light creepers is 1 meter. Okay. Now you take two leaders and make them go up to 12 to 14 inches with no side branches. Remove all the side branches. When these two leaders reach 14 inches, then you can start developing these horizontally. Whatever branches are coming from above 14 inches, start developing them horizontally and allow them to keep covering this arch or pergola. So horizontal branches can be trained and let these two leaders start keep growing with the horizontal branches coming and covering the empty space. Now, if you are doing a, an empty wall, for instance, then you do up to 14 inches. You take the two leaders. Then from there, one branch goes left, one comes right. Okay. So that way you will cover the lower portion also nicely and it will all be like one big curtain. So that is a way to keep training it. And if you want more branches, if you find that sometimes they are the top branches are weak and they do not grow or you're not getting side branches, you can pinch off the growing tip of both of them. You can pinch them off and then you will find that more branches will come up and then you can train these horizontally and prune all the unnecessary suckers, just as I told you just now. Suckers come from the base of the plant. So remove all those unnecessary. We want to give the health to these two leaders that are going up and they will cover the structure. If you are using iron structure, then you should have put primer on it and then painted it so that you can prevent rust on it. Later on, I I found that in very sunny areas where the sun is strong, if I have a lohe ka structure, then what I started doing was I started wrapping that lohe ka structure with sutli, moti wali sutli jo hai, usse I wrapped it up so that ek to tendrils have something to hold on to. Secondly, when these iron structures get heated up in the heat of summer, then what happens is these soft tendrils they burn off. So the plant does not develop at all. So wrap it up with this and or with a broad tape सम ब्रॉड, जो जैसे नाड़ा का वो होता है ना कपड़ा, उस तरह का चौड़ा वाला नाड़े का वो स्ट्रैप लेके उसको बांध दो, तो थोड़ा हीट भी नहीं होगा, और दूसरी बात ये पकड़ने को भी इनको कुछ ना कुछ मिल जाएगा. So now let me, Prerna, can you please show me the pictures? Now, basically pruning, we come to pruning also. Pruning is after we did the first pruning where we wanted more branches, and we did it. After that, generally now we have to keep this climber in shape. So then after that is a very light pruning. As the plant keeps developing, do light pruning. Please, right from the beginning, remember to remove all the dried branches. This has to be done as soon after winter, when you find that the plant is now waking up. Don't do it to things like those which are flowering. Those, after their flowering is over, then you look at all the dried branches and remove all of them, and then allow this creeper to develop. So pruning and training is an essential part of your uh, creeper life. Feeding. 1 minute, Prerna. हाँ, ये screen पे ही रहने दो. I'll just talk a little about feeding. Now, feeding. I always give my lecture on feeding for perennials, as March is a good time, and once more I feed is around October. Now you don't have to feed twice a year. You can feed it once a year also. Now, how do you feed the ones which are in the pots? You remove the top, about 3 inches of the soil, remove that and let it use it up somewhere else. And now you make a nice mixture of cow dung or compost, vermicompost, patti ki खाद, loose dried leaves, and neem khali, and top dressing of bone meal. Make a nice mixture of this and put it back into your pots. You can do this in the beginning stages. You can do it in March and do it once again in October. For the first 1 year, you might have to feed it twice a year. If you do it, it's very good. Regular feeding that I do generally during the months is I do my enzyme. I spray enzymes on all my creepers till wherever my hand can reach. And even that much of foliar feeding, yeah, feeding into the root system, all these are very, very good. So that you can continue to do. Give it biovita through the summer. समर में सीवीड एक्सट्रैक्ट का कोई भी ये जो फीड होते हैं, ये ऑर्गेनिक भी है, कूलिंग भी है. एंजाइम्स आर कूलिंग. ये डरने की कोई बात नहीं है, अरे इतनी गर्मी है, इतनी गर्मी नहीं, कोई डरने की बात नहीं है. I feed every 15 days to 20 days. I feed all my plants in the garden. So you can do that throughout. In the ground in March, you can just dig a pit around it. I mean, not a deep pit. Again, only 4 inches ka you dig a circle around your growing part of your vine, and you can feed it again with the same mixture and put the soil back and water it thoroughly. So this is also the way you can keep maintaining your creepers. Now let's come to the pictures. The first one, Prerna. Hanji, Prerna. Yeah. Let's have the first picture. Now this is Alamander, but इससे पहले एक और है प्रेरणा, वो है एडिनोकैलिमा का. हाँ, सबसे ऊपर वाला. Yeah, this is Adenocalima, and this is a very hardy but a heavy creeper. It's a bit slow in the beginning. मैंने अपने टेरेस गार्डन में लगाया तो वो भैया 1-1.5 साल तो कुछ भी नहीं किया, थोड़ा सा ही होगा. तीसरे साल जाके उसमें बस अब इतनी बढ़िया ग्रोथ है, और इट गेट्स येलो फ्लावर्स, गुच्छे के गुच्छे, एंड एट द टर्मिनल, एंड इट फ्रॉम मार्च टू अगस्त इसमें फूल आते ही रहते. इट्स वेरी suitable for an arch, for a wall, or it can grow in semi shade also. Adenocalima, it's a very nice one. It can be multiplied by cuttings. As you all know, creepers can be multiplied by ground layering. अगर नीचे से कोई sucker आता है and it comes during the propagation period, then you leave that and उसको ground में आप दबा के you can make a new plant of it. It can, but adenocalima cutting से भी हो जाता है. Then next one we have is allamanda. प्रेरणा नेक्स्ट. ये allamanda है. This, as I have told you, is not does not have anything to fix on to, so you have to tie it up. This is a beautiful one. I have three colors on my farm. One is yellow, and one is a rosea color, and one deep maroon. The deep maroon one is not so profuse in flowering. It does very well in Pune and Bombay, western area. It is just very beautiful. But whenever it flowers for me, that is highly rewarding. Next, Antignon. ये छोटा जो नीचे आपको दिख रहा है Antignon, ये it is also known as Sandwich Island creeper. It is very pretty. It's a very delicate one. It's a delicate creeper and it's a light creeper. It's not a heavy creeper at all. And it can be used for screening, and again it's flowers again in October a lot. It can be used for arches and pergola, but it has to be cleaned and it has to be pruned once or twice in the year to keep the growth under control. So that you will have to see. Next is Aristolochia. This is the Batak Bale. इसमें दो टाइप्स आते हैं. एक ग्रैंडीफ्लोरा है जिसमें बहुत बड़े बड़े फूल आते हैं, और एक है एलिगेंस. एलिगेंस में छोटा आता है, छोटा, बट इट्स अ लवली creeper again, and I put it against my tree. It's growing on top of a tree which has nothing much of a trunk line. So I thought, let me cover it. It's a light climber. It also grows from seed and from cutting. Next. This is Gloriosa. No, sorry, what is this? Banisteria. This is Banisteria. Lalita, who's my friend, who's here just now, she has one of the most beautiful Banisteria bonsais. It is also known as what do you call it? A lace creeper, because the flower is like a lace. It's a beautiful shrubby climber, and it is very delicate. It's a delicate, very slow growing, and comparatively, with woody branches also. But when it's grown in full sun, it does very well. It climbs a wall, pergola, and it requires light pruning so that you can improve the flowering. Okay, next we come to Beaumontia, white one. ये Banisteria हो गया. हाँ, Beaumontia is a lovely creeper, but it's a very heavy creeper, and it has latex. तो जहाँ भी आप काटोगे उसमें से दूध जैसे निकलता है. अच्छा, इसके बहुत चौड़े पत्ते होते हैं, and ये बहुत, again, it's a quick growing climber, and it can cover a wall. I have it against a khamba, so it does very well. It flowers from January to March, and but again in full sun, and it requires pruning once a year. जब बारिशें आने से पहले अगर इसकी प्रूनिंग आप कर दो तो ये बहुत अच्छा ग्रो करता है. नेक्स्ट आई थिंक वी कम टू बोगनविला. ये अगेन बोमांटिया कटिंग से भी हो जाता है. Now we come to Bougainvillea. Of course, Bougainvillea, I don't need to talk about Bougainvillea because you all know. And for the best type of, hanging one or climbing one is Lady Mary Bearing. this yellow one, then Louis Vuitton, then you have Mahara. Now Mahara has the double jamni colored ka, double colored ka hota hai. So those are all very, very beautiful. And even their leaves are like Dr. Rao, if you use. So that's also very, very pretty. Now next. This is what I said, campsis. Now campsis is the normal one. ये तो आपने बहुत देखा होगा. पहले टाइम में ना ये इतना ग्रो होता था, हमारे सबके गार्डन में होता है. इससे चींटियां बड़ी इसकी हानि लेती हैं. और ये वाला, it hangs down very well. But even if you make it climb up a pillar and tie it up, so then the flowers hang down. That's very, very pretty. Now we come to clematis, I think. Next. क्लेमेटिस इज दिस छोटा फ्लावर वाला. एक गुच्छे का गुच्छा इतना सुंदर, इट कैन कवर अ वॉल and it's very beautiful. I have made it climb a tree and then it falls drain. It sort of falls down and भर जाता है जब ना, तो पत्ते नहीं दिखेंगे आपको, सिर्फ यही दिखेगा वाइट एकदम. Next is the Clerodendron, I think. Yeah, this is Clerodendron splendens. ये आपको सेमी शेड में भी हो जाता है. ये आपने बहुत देखा होगा. एटलीस्ट आई एम सेइंग इट लाइक अ ओल्ड लेडी, बट हमारे टाइम में ये बहुत पॉपुलर होता था. इसके बड़े बड़े पत्ते थे. मैं वो बड़े पत्ते लेके दही बड़ों के लिए यूज भी करती थी वो पत्ते. इट्स वेरी, वेरी नाइस एंड वेरी ब्यूटीफुल. हार्डी, इट्स अ हार्डी वन. इसके ऊपर जो आपको ग्रीन वाला दिख रहा है, that is known as cissus. Cissus is a little difficult in Delhi because it needs lot of humidity. But ये वही सिंगोनियम और क्या नाम है इसका, ऑल दिस इंडोर प्लांट्स के जैसे ही है. नेक्स्ट, नेक्स्ट वाला स्प्लेंडेंस के बाद Chlorhodendron thomsoni. This is thomsoni, also known as bleeding heart. This is a very rewarding creeper, but it needs some nice, you have to take care of it because ये semi shade में ज़्यादा अच्छा grow करेगा. But it's very, very nice. It's a beautiful one. Next, I think is cobia. Cobaio. Cobaie. It's again with very, very big, this thing. It's again a climbing shrub. So it's a quick growing climber, and it has the leaf becomes the tendril, and that only holds on to the. It likes warm, humid climate, and it's mild climate. In mild climate, it becomes a perennial. Otherwise, it in very humid thing, it becomes a annual. अच्छा, नेक्स्ट इज कॉम्बरेटम, जिसे सब कोई कंगा बेल कहते हैं. ये अभी बड फॉर्म में है इसका फ्लावर, लेकिन जब ये खुलता है तो बिल्कुल टूथब्रश की तरह लगता है और कंगे की तरह लगता है, बिल्कुल कंगे की तरह उसमें वो आता है. सो इट इज नोन एज अ कंगा बेल. नाउ दिस इज अ रैम्बलिंग, it's again extensive shrubby climber. I have again made it. It has grown very, very high. It can go up to 20 feet. And it has this very beautiful spikes. And ये आपको नवंबर में खिलता है और एक दफे आपको फिर से मार्च अप्रैल में भी खिलता है. This plant needs to be thinned and pruned every year, and it can be propagated from cutting. Next, ये फाइकस रिपेंस है, ये ग्रीन वाला, जिसको हम लोग इंडिया में आईवी भी कहते हैं, बिकॉज ये जो है ये दीवार से चिपक के चलता है. ये शेडी है, इसको शेडी पसंद आता है. मतलब शेडी से मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि ये जो है इसका जो रूट बॉल है, रूट सिस्टम है, वो शेड में हो तो ये सनी वॉल को भी ढक लेगा. ये आगे चल के सनी वॉल को भी अच्छी तरह से कवर करता है. इट्स ऑल्सो नोन एज फाइकस प्यूमिला. ये तो बहुत इजीली आपको मिल जाता है. ये इफ यू आस्क फॉर आईवी तो वो लोग दे देते हैं आपको. एंड ये मेरे वाटरफॉल के पास ग्रो होता है. जब ये इसमें नए पत्ते आते हैं ना तो वो लाइट पिंक कलर के आते हैं. एंड they do it does not chipko onto a smooth wall. If you have a granite on your wall, it will not climb, but if it's a rough wall, it will climb very well. Up next, this is gloriosa. ये ट्यूबर है, ग्लोरियोसा सुपरबा. ये इसका ट्यूबर होता है. हर साल ये लार्ज डोज में बिकता है इसका ट्यूबर. ये लाके आप इसको पॉट में ग्रो करिए और अपने मॉस स्टिक के ऊपर इसको ग्रो करिए तो इसमें बहुत सुंदर ये फूल आते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज होम्स कोल्डिया. इट you look at it, it's known as Chinese hat because it looks like a hat. जो चाइना में वो उल्टा वाला हैट होता है ना, उस तरह का है. In a garden, it actually looks like a bougainvillea only, and you'll say, "Oh, यहाँ bougainvillea खिल रहा है." But जब आप उसके पास जाओगे, तब आप देखोगे इसके फ्लावर की फॉर्मेशन ही फर्क है. And it's a very hardy, nice, and prefers partial shady area. Mine is on the north side, but when the sun is overhead in summer, तो उसमें खूब अच्छे फूल आते हैं. बट लेकिन वो थोड़े देर के बाद सन ना बिल्डिंग के पीछे चला जाता है, तो उतना सन इसके लिए बहुत अच्छा है. नेक्स्ट इज होया. दिस होम्स कोल्डिया. नहीं, अच्छा, आई हैवंट शोन होया के पिक्चर्स. अच्छा, सॉरी, I thought I had talked about Hoya. Okay, now this is Ipomia. Ipomia के बहुत colors हैं. Purpurea है. Then there is another Palmeta. So Ipomias, there you will have lots, and they are again, Ipomias give you seed. So from seed से आप इसको बहुत अच्छी तरह से डेवलप कर सकते हैं. तो ये it's a strong woody climber and it's one of the best climbers you can again have. It's very, very nice. It fills up a wall, a porch, an arch, and it again blooms वैसे almost the whole year round. But in dry climate, it should be grown in partial shade. And it needs pruning and cleaning in the rainy season. It can be propagated by cutting and by layering. Okay, next. Other jasmine variety. ये सब वही है, Ipomias ही है. Different varieties of Akram. Next. जैस्मिन में आपके बहुत सारे वैरायटीज हैं. स्टार जैस्मिन इनमें सबसे पॉपुलर है क्योंकि उसका लीफ छोटा और वेरी शाइनी ग्रीन होता है और फ्लावर्स इसके, बट दे आर नॉट फ्रेग्रेंट. देन यू हैव द फ्रेग्रेंट सफेद जैस्मिन एंड यू हैव द पीली चमेली. दीज आर ऑल वेरी, वेरी प्रिटी एंड दे ग्रो. नाउ दे आल्सो हैव लॉन्ग ब्रांचेस, सो यू हैव टू टाई देम अप. They do not actually climb up like that. You have to put it on a support system. Okay, so this is jasmine. Now I think we will come to honeysuckle. नहीं, passiflora है ये. Honeysuckle is also a very nice creeper and you get it quite easily. It's a very fragrant. Now ये राखी बेल है. राखी बेल में कई कलर्स हैं. ये आप देखते हो, ब्लू भी है, फिर आपका रेड कलर है मेरे पास, वो बहुत सुंदर है, और ये पिंक वाला भी है. राखी बेल इज ऑल्सो, it has unusual flowers, so therefore it is very, very popular. It's hardy and it can be used for screening. After flowering, it should be pruned, and you can prune it from, you can propagate it again by cutting and by layering. इसमें कभी कभी बीज भी फॉर्म होते हैं, उससे भी हो सकता है. So this the red one is very profuse, सारे टाइम उसमें बर्ड्स होते हैं और फ्लावर्स होता है. So it's very very rewarding. But flower इसमें blue वाले का ही सबसे सुंदर होता है. Next. ये है Petria volubilis. Petria volubilis is very very rewarding, and it is so beautiful that it is again, it flowers in the month of March, April sometime. It has a white one now, which is a hybrid, and that is just awesome. It's a very very beautiful one. So this is Petria volubilis. Again, it is something which again needs support. एंड इसका बार, इसका जो लीव्स हैं वो ग्रेइश कलर के हैं और थोड़े हार्ड हैं. बट इसके जो फ्लावर्स के पेटल्स ना बड़ी जल्दी गिर जाते हैं, बट उसके कलर चेंज होता रहता है. अगेन आई ऑलवेज prune this plant after the flowering, and then I allow the new branches to come. Next. ये मधुमालती है. मधुमालती अगेन इज आजकल नया इसमें वैरायटीज आया है जो डबल, मतलब गुच्छेदार, फैंसी फ्लोरा जिसे बोलते हैं, ये गुच्छेदार इसमें वो देता है. अगेन इट्स एन एक्सटेंसिव क्लाइंबर and it can, it's very very showy. Also it used to be called Rangoon creeper. ठीक है ना? So this one is very nice and very very popular. Next. This is Stephanotis. Stephanotis is a very very beautiful, as I told you, the bouquet flower, and this one is it's again very fragrant, and it's a light climber, so you can put it in a pot and you can you can just spread it over a low wall. Now this plant is not pruned. Please remember, Stephanotis को prune नहीं करते हैं, only dry branches निकालते हैं. It's an ideal climber. It is propagated by cutting or air layering. I have tried both, but I have not been successful. The layering हो गया था, लेकिन उसके बाद वो जब ground में लगाया तो वो चला नहीं. So I don't know. I think we'll have to try some more. Next.
Thumbergia.
This is Thumbergia. Thumbergia में आपके अगेन बहुत अच्छे ब्लैक आइड सूजन है जो येलो फ्लावर होता है विद अ ब्लैक सेंटर. ब्लैक आइड सूजन जो है वो इट ग्रोज वेरी वेल इन अ पॉट एंड इट लुक्स वेरी वेरी प्रिटी. इट्स अ लाइट क्रीपर, okay, and it's an annual creeper, so it only flowers annually. Okay, then you have the other ones also, which are like this particular one, and it is known as fragrance, and also Thumbergia grandiflora. But सबसे सुंदर है Thumbergia mysorensis. Now, mysorensis is grown in South India and it's grown in the Western Ghats. This is so pretty. It's known as the Sahara bale because वो सहरे की तरह लंबी लंबी लड़ियाँ इसकी grow होती हैं. It is again very suitable for growing over walls. So वो उधर की तरफ जब झुकती है तो बहुत सुंदर इसके लंबे लंबे फूल बहुत दिन तक उगते हैं. But if it's very difficult to get mysorensis. Next. Wisteria you can see in the purple one. ऐसे उसके गुच्छेदार फूल आते हैं. Wisteria, I have been successful in growing wisteria, and I will tell you that somewhere in the 80s, early 90s, there used to be one Mr. J.B. Mathur who lived in Vasant Vihar. He was a very avid horticulturist, and in his house I saw wisteria growing, and since then I just love at first sight. So then I have planted it on my farm, which has now spread widely over my pergola, and नीचे से उसके flowers निकलते हैं, and it's a beautiful creeper to have, but the root system should be in semi-shade area. Then the flowers grow in the sun. But root system, if you keep it in semi-shade, then it does very well. There is one more creeper which I like very much, which is called Valaris. Vallaris. This is, you can Google it and see it. It's again a very light creeper and it does very, very well. Next.
Valaris.
अच्छा, Polaris ये आपको दिख गया white वाला, and then उसके नीचे है Senecio. Senecio, when it's growing, गुच्छेदार फूल आते हैं like marigold. देखने में एकदम ऐसे दूर से लगता है कि ये marigold है, but it's a very exotic creeper also. It's very, very nice. Also known as the Mexican flame vine. It can be used for ground cover also. If you give it suitable support, it will grow in a pot. But it prefers to trail actually, and it is propagated from cutting. So these are the many creepers that I was able to get my hands on, and send you the pictures and talk about it. Now I think we can take the questions. Okay, Kusumji says some gardeners say that your soil should see sun as it spoils microbial activity. How far is it right? See, when you have extreme sun, na Kusumji, तो ऊपर का लेयर जो है ना आपका, either you mulch it or you will find it cakes on top. That is to protect the microbial activity which is inside the soil. It's not on the top soil. So therefore, you can protect your soil by, by mulching it, and microbial activity even in the sunny areas takes place. अच्छा,
अब मैं
और
अपना
तो कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं दिखा. अगर आप
मैं अपना क्वेश्चन पूछ रही हूँ श्यामा जी.
हाँ
मैं
पूछिए.
बोल के पूछ ले रही हूँ, सब लोग सुन लेंगे, क्योंकि मेरा टेरेस गार्डन है. तो टेरेस
हाँ.
के ऊपर मैं अपना वो इकोसिस्टम बनाने के लिए अपने फ्रूट के जो पेड़ हैं उनको बहुत बड़े बड़े गमलों में डाल रही हूँ. बड़े गमलों मतलब मैं लकड़ के बना के, क्या
ओके.
उसमें मेरा आम होगा, अमरूद होगा,
हाँ.
जामुन होगा, कीनू है और संतरा है, ये जो खूब बड़े बड़े हो जाएं, ताकि
हाँ.
उनकी छांव में मेरे जो टेरेस है वो एक गार्डन का वो ले सके
राइट.
उसकी छांव में. तो उस बड़े बड़े गमलों में मैं क्या बेल को डाल सकती हूँ?
नहीं, आई वुड नॉट रिकमेंड. आप नीचे उसको मल्च करने के लिए वो सॉइल में आप कुछ छोटे जिनके रूट सिस्टम बहुत शैलो रहे वैसे वाले आप प्लांट्स लगा सकते हैं. समर में आप पोटुलाका लगा लीजिए या कुछ, बट आप वाइन मत लगाइए उसमें, बिकॉज वाइन भी अपना खुराक लेगा और इन प्लांट्स को भी अपनी खुराक चाहिए. सो आई वोंट सजेस्ट, कीप अ सेपरेट पॉट फॉर योर वाइन्स.
ओके ओके.
श्यामा जी,
या
ये जो मैं पर्टिकुलर पूर्णिमा जी की बात कर रही हूँ, जो हमेशा कहती हैं कि आपकी सॉइल जो है वो सन को देखनी नहीं चाहिए. और आप लोग मोस्टली सब लोग कहते हैं कि जब हम प्लांट करते हैं कोई भी नया पेड़ तो सोलराइज करो सॉइल को.
सॉइल को हम लोग आजकल इतना नहीं कह रहे हैं सोलराइज करने को, because we also know we only solarize like we solarize the pit, and so that if there are any spores inside the pit they are killed, and we clean and solarize our pots so that if there are any remnants of any fungus etc, then they can be killed. Otherwise I also don't like to solarize soil, because I feel it's better to have lots of microbial activity in my soil rather than I have a fungus etc. I can deal with it by putting other things into it. And if your cow dung is good or your compost is nice and dry and your patti ki khad also is good, then you will not generally find any of these diseases coming up.
तो मतलब अगर पॉट में से हम सॉइल खाली कर लें, पॉट को वॉश करके और अब वापस से उस सेम सॉइल में खाद वगैरह डाल के
देखिए,
भर लें?
नहीं, मैं क्या करती हूँ, जो पॉट में सॉइल है ना उसको मैं हटा देती हूँ और उसको मैं जहाँ पर मेरा कंपोस्ट का पिट है उसकी उधर मैं डालती हूँ और उसके ऊपर मैं कंपोस्ट डालती हूँ, फिर सॉइल डालती हूँ, फिर उसके ऊपर कंपोस्ट डालती हूँ। तो ऐसे करते करते लेयर लेयर हो जाता है, तो फिर उसमें माइक्रोबियल एक्टिविटी भी चलता है और ये जो आपका सॉइल है ये उसको हवा लगती है, तो ये हवा भी लेता है और इसमें माइक्रोबियल एक्टिविटी भी हो रहा होता है। फिर ये वाला सॉइल थोड़े दिनों के बाद जुलाई में मैं यूज करती हूँ पॉट्स में। तो सॉइल कभी फेंकते नहीं है, बट वही सॉइल को वापस डालने के बजाय आप उस सॉइल को कहीं डाल दीजिए फॉर लिटिल व्हाइल, लेट इट रेस्ट एंड top of it cover it with some compost, some patti ki खाद etc. and take whatever you had done 3 months before that, जो सॉइल को आपने ट्रीट किया था वो ले लीजिए आप गमलों में डालने के लिए। तो ये जो सॉइल आपने छोड़ा हुआ है ये जुलाई में फिर आप यूज करेंगे, तो एक साइकिल बन जाएगा, समझ गए ना?
हाँ, नहीं
तो इस
मैंने
तरह से
अभी जो
साइकिल
किया है,
बनाइए, इमीडिएटली वही सॉइल को ना यूज करके आप जो पहले का सॉइल है वो यूज कर लीजिए।
नहीं मैंने अभी क्या किया है कि सॉइल बना के रखा हुआ है जिसमें पत्ते भी हैं जो गौमूत्र ये क्या आपके अमृत जल में भिगा के डालते हैं,
बिल्कुल।
और खाद है और मिट्टी है, वो प्रिपेयर करके रख दिया हुआ बोरी में बंद करके। अब
हाँ,
उसको जब पॉट में भरेंगे तो उसको भी 15-20 दिन पहले भरना है या तब भर के उसमें डाल सकते हैं पेड़?
नहीं, आई वुड सजेस्ट कि आप उसको डाल के पानी वानी दे के रखिए, थोड़ा सा रह दीजिए। देखिए माइक्रोब्स मरेंगे नहीं, माइक्रोब्स अंदर चले जाएंगे, उनको बहुत कुछ खाने को मिलेगा अंदर, सो वो लोग एक्टिविटी अंदर करेंगे। रूट लेवल पे चाहिए हमें माइक्रोबियल एक्टिविटी।
तो
आप ये
मतलब पानी
मट्टी
डाल
यूज
के
कर
2
सकते हैं।
वीक छोड़ दें? नहीं
हाँ, थोड़ा
उसको
तो छोड़
जो,
दीजिए, दैट इज फॉर केमिकल रिएक्शन टू टेक प्लेस।
ओके, थैंक यू।
चमन जी मेरे को थोड़ा सा बताइए, मेरे को अपने छत के ऊपर पूरी छत पे ऐसे बल्लियां डाल के उनके ऊपर कुछ ऐसे बेल चढ़ा देनी है ताकि थोड़ा गार्डन को ग्रीनरी जैसा टच मिले। तो इसके लिए मेरे को तो छत है तो बहुत बड़े बड़े रूट बॉल वाले बेल नहीं चाहिए, तो कम रूट बॉल वाले, जैसे मुझे विक्टोरिया पिल्बिस है, चांदनी मैंने लगाई हुई है और क्लेमाटिस भी लगाई हुई है, ये 3-4 बेल लगाई हुई है।
ठीक है।
और और कौन सी लगा
और
सकते
आप,
हैं?
मैं तो छत के लिए ये रेकमेंड करती हूँ, मैं छत के लिए रेकमेंड करती हूँ कि आप एक खंबे से आप ऊपर अंगूर की बेल चढ़ा दीजिए,
जी
तो वो आपके ऊपर की जो जाफरी है उसको ऊपर चढ़ जाएगा,
ठीक
है ना? तो वो थ्रू द समर क्या होगा, आपको छाई मिल जाएगी वहां उसके नीचे,
है। हाँ
और फल भी मिल जाएगा आपको।
जी
और विंटर में वो लीफलेस हो जाता है, तो आपको
जी
धूप भी मिल जाएगी विंटर
जी
में।
जी हाँ
तो मुझे अंगूर की बेल से बढ़िया और कोई ऑल्टरनेटिव नहीं समझ में आ रहा। उससे अगर बहुत बड़ा एरिया है तो एक तरफ अंगूर की बेल लगा दो, एक तरफ कोई और अच्छा सा हल्का वाला बेल आप लगा सकते हो, जैसे थम्बर्जिया है या पेनिस्टीरिया है, ये सब हल्के बेल है। स्टेफनोटिस लगा सकते हैं आप, है ना?
थर्ड
तो दो
थर्ड
वन
कौन सा
नाइट्स।
बोला आपने? थर्ड कौन सा? हम्बर्जिया, पेनिस्टीरिया और थर्ड वन?
क्या बोला
पेनिस्टोसिस,
था मैंने?
पेनिस्टोसिस, पेनिस्टोसिस,
पेनिस्टीरिया।
ये दोनों तो लिख लिए मैंने, थर्ड रह गया।
ये लगा दीजिए सैंडविच आइलैंड क्रीपर,
हाँ ठीक है।
एंटिग्नॉन, एंटिग्नॉन लेप्टोपस
हाँ जी
या
ठीक।
क्लेमेटिस, क्लेमेटिस।
हाँ क्लेमेटिस लगा है, क्लेमेटिस, चमेली, पीली और सफेद, और ये लगाए हैं, पर अब उनको
तो
फैलाना है।
जैकोमेंशिया लगा लीजिए, जैकोमेंशिया इज आल्सो वेरी प्रिटी।
ठीक ठीक।
क्लेमाइटिस में फ्लावरिंग कब होएगी?
क्लेमेटिस में
अभी हो रही है।
क्लेमेटिस में अप्रैल में हुई थी, और अभी भी थोड़ा बहुत फूल है उसमें।
नहीं, मेरे यहाँ बिल्कुल नहीं हुई है अभी तक।
अच्छा
तो
देखिए,
क्या
एक
करना
बात
चाहिए?
और ध्यान रखिए, ज्यादा पानी आप दोगे तो फोलिएज होगा। फ्लावर्स होने के लिए एक तो फीडिंग की जरूरत है, और दूसरा आपको प्रूनिंग की जरूरत है, और थर्डली आपको क्या, पानी पानी कम देना है।
नहीं, ये
फ्लावरिंग
अभी नया ही है।
गैप्स छोड़िए, पानी देने में गैप्स छोड़िए।
नहीं, ये अभी नया ही है, मतलब इसी साल लगा है।
हाँ नहीं,
तो
थोड़ा
ज्यादा बहुत
अगले
बड़ा
साल,
नहीं है।
अगले साल आपको ये जम के देगा। ये बहुत जल्दी फूल देता है,
ओके।
और एक दफे और अक्टूबर में भी देता है। हाँ।
और कोई मेंबर्स अपने क्वेश्चन पूछे प्लीज। मेरे पास तो बहुत क्वेश्चन है, मेरे पास तो बहुत है, फिर भी लगेगा मैं ही पूछे जा रही हूँ।
Shama ji, I'm Praveen this side. Shama ji, can you hear me?
नहीं सुनाई नहीं
प्रवीण बोल
दिया
रही
प्रवीण जी।
मैं अपराजिता को पूरी धूप में रख सकते हैं, फुल सन?
अपराजिता थोड़ा नहीं, आई फाइंड अपराजिता बहुत धूप में रखने से ना उसकी टेंड्रिल्स सूख रही हैं। मेरा एक ऊपर छत पे है और एक जरा सेमी शेड पे है। सेमी शेड वाला इज डूइंग मच बेटर देन द फुल सन वाला।
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच। और उसको भी नीचे से प्रूनिंग करके उसकी 2 टहनियां लेके जानी है?
नहीं, उसको तो छोड़ दो, वो तो पॉट में बड़े आराम से मॉस्टिक को पकड़ लेता है।
हाँ, अभी तो खैर छोटा है, अराउंड 2 फीट है, पॉट भी छोटा है, वो काला वाला जो होता है। तो बरसातों में उसको रिपॉट कर दो, बड़े पॉट में डाल दे।
हाँ, 12 इंची के पॉट में डालिए तो देखिए इतने फूल आते हैं फिर।
अच्छा, अभी तो 10 इंच में है।
I think we should conclude the.
इसके लिए 12 इंच से बड़ा पॉट डालने से ज्यादा फूल आएंगे क्या?
बड़े वाले उसमें डालने से, और आप अगर फीड करते रहोगे तो बहुत अच्छा फूल।
Prerna, I think we should conclude the meeting.
अच्छा,
थैंक यू सो मच। Thank you so much.
Shama ji, we are very grateful to you, and we have done a very elaborate and very detailed